Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So in this one, we're going to discuss MSTR. What the heck is going on with MSTR? This is absolutely crazy. So I was looking today at Bitcoin over the last year versus MicroStrategy. And for the most part, they were very correlated. But here lately, within the last like 30 days or so, they're becoming somewhat divorced from each other. So we're going to look at a comparison of both, and then I'm going to do like a market and trades review where I show all my trades today. I found some pretty interesting opportunities today in the market, so we're going to look over those. But first, we're going to cover MicroStrategy. So let me do this over here. Um, do I want to hold on? Oh, I have my favorite stock up, and earnings are coming for NVIDIA. My favorite. Watch this. I happen to have this one up over here already. Okay, so let me do this. Still no options on SMCL, by the way, so I'm having to find other opportunities. I'll have to email these guys again to see what's going on. I mean, they don't fully control it, but I'll ask for an update at least. Okay, so MSTR. Let's look at it today because, as you all know, those of you that follow me very closely that are kind of in the inner circle, um, I have puts on MSTU, which I've been doing all year. Hey, welcome to two of my favorite people, Dividend Degenerates and Chuck Stank. You all are like always among the first that are on. So you all know because you all follow me close enough. I trade a lot of MSTU, and it's absolutely been in the tank. And the way that strategy keeps dropping, it's very concerning. So let's look here. We obviously hit two peaks this year. We were at 422 almost, and then we hit 456. Now, if you kind of look at technicals, you've got support and resistance, obviously. So I feel like support levels, the range we're looking at here is it hasn't gone below 237 and it hasn't gone above 450. It hasn't closed above 456. Now, the 52-week high is actually higher. I want to say intraday, it got like really high. Well, November, it got as high as 474. So here's hoping we have the same November this year that we had last year, right? That would be amazing. But what I want to point out to you all here, what I want to draw your attention to is the fact that strategy and Bitcoin are starting to become divorced. And I think this has to do with the dilution of shares and stuff that's going on. And this is definitely something to pay attention to. So year to date, you'll notice Bitcoin is up 13%, but strategy's down 8.5% in terms of price return. Now, if we look over the last month, you'll see that there's still a lot of similarities. There's more fluctuation, more variation in Bitcoin's price, but you'll notice, especially over the last 6 months, what do you notice here? Actually, you can see it better here. So here, Bitcoin has been, and I don't know why it's not showing like both, but it had been outpacing Bitcoin significantly. See, they both bottomed out here, but strategy bounced right back. But what's happening now is that strategy is not bouncing back like it did before. So Bitcoin is here. They were pretty much at the same level. Now Bitcoin is actually outpacing it, and strategy is just not coming back, especially in the last month here. You see, it's like a trend reversal. So the last time strategy was actually beating Bitcoin was October 6th. The entire month of October, it was pretty much in the pooper. You can see it's like now twice, it's like 2x to the downside of Bitcoin. So, and there's a significant difference now. At one point last week, it was like up to 28% down for strategy and up to 12% down for Bitcoin. Now we're actually over the last month, it's almost double as far down, as Bitcoin. So that's very concerning, especially being that, those of us that trade indexed or leveraged ETFs like MSTU. Let's see what we got here. Afternoon Durzo just ordered an irresponsible amount of DoorDash. Really? What's better, DoorDash or Uber Eats? Because I'm a cheap SOB. I don't like to order from like Uber Eats or anything like that. I'll actually go and drive and get it, or I'll even walk to stuff. Because I was actually going to Uber Eats IHOP a couple of weeks ago because I had really busy work from home day, and so I looked at the price, and with the fees and stuff, it was going to be like double what the entree was. And then I went to IHOP's website directly, and I found a hack. I found a 20% off by ordering online. So even though the online menu was higher, you still got 20% off for ordering online. But I thought like Uber Eats, like their prices were an absolute ripoff. Hey, welcome to Rod, by the way. Funny story, funny enough, back in like 2018, 2019, when I was like locked in on my fixed income salary when I worked at my favorite company, I almost did DoorDash. I was very close. In fact, I have the bag in the other room. I was very close to starting DoorDash. But anyway, these are minor details. Now we can write our own paychecks with trades and whatnot. But anyway, so let's ask Rod. Rod, what do you think's going on with MSTR? You think it's going to recover? You think that, why is it starting to separate from Bitcoin when they were tracking? Actually, it was outpacing Bitcoin, but Bitcoin, the point I didn't make here is that if you just look at Bitcoin by itself, okay, so Bitcoin is not that far down for the year. Not this, but the actual here. Oh, come on, Bitcoin, come on, pop up. You'd think it would behave better for an affiliate, right? Okay, so it's at 106,621. Our peak for the year was at, hold on a second. Let me get rid of this one. It's got it in terms of percentage. So moral of the story is that in the last month or so, we're not that far down. As you see, we're only down like 13%. But if you look at MicroStrategy, we're way down over the same amount of time. So I don't know if it's like the drawdown or what. Oh, I know why I'm in summary here. Okay, so we're down almost $200 a share since July. That's like 4.5 months ago at this point. Whereas with Bitcoin, here we go. With well, I thought, hold on. Oh, this is frustrating. With Bitcoin, I'm trying to be at the summary chart here. Here we go. We were over 123 for the year. We're not down that much, but yet you see strategies down $200 a share. So it has me very concerned, to say the least. Now, with that being said, I'm not doing any more MSTU. I'm doing other trades. So I'm going to show you all. Let's see, what did he say? MSTR also has software business, dilutes too much. It's annoying. We live in such a crazy environment. Like your shares get diluted, your drinks get diluted, your portions get diluted. It's ridiculous. Inflation causes dilution to everything. It's crazy. Let's see. What does Rod say? I recall there were a few BTC pumps that corresponded with bad MSTR news, like Saylor changing what he said on an earnings call. But that's the risk of owning the company versus BTC outright. I agree. I'm just worried about the leveraged funds because they can't afford too many more massive drawdowns. Otherwise, we might have no more fund. So that's kind of the scary part of that. It's funny because, like I say, not to give the haters more material, but I know they love to hammer me on SMCX. But actually, this is the one this is the real material here. Reverse split on MSTU. Oh, probably instead of it just going bankrupt. But when I was in Coronado and we had like these people talking about these 5X funds or these 25X, when there's massive downturns like that, I mean, you can be down a certain percentage and then your fund is just like wiped out for the day. So that has me minorly concerned. All right, I'm going to show you all the degenerate trades I made today. Some of you may think this is goofy. So I threw out some lotto picks today. These are like coaches' lotto picks. There's a company called Oust, ticker symbol Oust. It's reporting earnings tomorrow. And because of some things going on with the company, I think earnings are going to beat tomorrow. So this is a little bit of a gamble. They have a certain, let me see, I have it here in my notes. Give me just a second. But I'll just tell you all why I'm bullish on this one. I could be completely wrong. That's the thing. If I'm wrong, I went out a week. So I went out November 14th. I actually bought, which I quit doing. Well, I said I did, but I actually didn't. It's like quitting smoking. You still have one or two here or there. So it's like it's an addictive habit, So hopefully I don't get ousted on Ouster. So I instead of, I've been selling most of the year, but instead of selling, I actually bought calls. And if it doesn't work, I went out a week so I can just try to sell something, get something back at least. It could completely not work, or it could work. Let me put it this way. If it works, it was an absolutely genius, brilliant pick. But if it doesn't work, then I know nothing about it, right? I'm just kidding. But here, let me, to kind of validate my decision making, I have the advanced equipment here. So are we going to beat earnings tomorrow? Let's see what it says here. It says most likely. There we go. That's encouraging. That is some encouraging news. Actually, best news of the day right there. Okay, let's see. Going to cover Palantir earnings. Oh, absolutely. It's earnings season. And hopefully earnings season doesn't become open season on Coach's portfolio. That's earnings can be great or not so great. But like I said, it's going to be a very interesting finish to the year. Okay, so I bought 2 of those in 2 different accounts. And then I also, don't laugh, folks, because I was doing this in 2021, but I'm starting to go back to the playbook on some of these. I'm seeing Fubo TV. I'm seeing some some positive tailwinds with Fubo. So I went ahead and sold puts at 450. So at the very least, I'll get assigned. I'm starting to push out to next year on some of these now. And then also a big buzz company now, Rigetti Computing. I'm liking it. I'm liking what I'm seeing. So I sold, and I keep saying I was maxed out, but I guess, I don't know, maybe they keep giving me more margin or something. It's like they're giving me enough, rope to hang myself, I guess. But I had more breathing room in the accounts to trade. And I didn't really close anything out. But so Rigetti, I was able to do some trades. I sold basically 7 total. Oh, and I did the Ouster trade in I can't talk today. I did the Ouster trade in another account. But with Rigetti Computer, we kind of all know the story on that one. There's another firm I subscribe to, Stansberry Research. They actually just upgraded it to a buy. So when I saw that, I trust what they say a lot, and I went ahead and sold puts. Palantir has pumped last several days leading up to today. If earnings disappoint, it's absolutely, I agree, maybe a good buying opportunity. Maybe if it tanks, maybe then we sell puts for January or for the next earnings time. By the way, Meta earnings, their next earnings are going to be a nice birthday present to Coach, because they're coming right after my birthday. So I've gone ahead and I'm selling puts on METU. So we'll see how that goes. Let me tell you all a little bit about Ouster. So they have something called the LiDAR sensor. And let's see. I made some random notes here. So it's a product. I don't know enough about this company, unfortunately, but that's a key thing. Let me just do, you know what? Google AI is great, right? Like I had one professor that actually said Google is your friend. I'm not saying that, but it's not your enemy. Let me do this here. Digital LiDAR sensors for automation, drones, and robotics. So here's why I'm bullish. I'm giving you guys some, this is like very valuable. I should honestly charge for this. So you all are extremely lucky that you caught this live stream right now. I'm kidding a little bit. I'm not as, sometimes I know I come across like a jerk, but I'm actually really a nice guy. I have kind of a blunt sense of humor. But anyway, here's going to be an awesome tip for you all, I think, if it works. Okay. I'm thinking that, so this is the company called Ouster. They're doing a lot of cool stuff with robotics and drones. Oh, well, you know what I did? The horn is downstairs, but I got both advanced equipments. I got the copycat one. Hold on. I got the copycat one and the original one. And then look at that. Now I'm like Mickey Mouse. There will be memes with this. You watch in other Discords before the day's out. There will be memes of this. And then I also, very near and dear, I keep all my dividend income very close up here, of course. And then, yeah, but no, the horn is downstairs. So yeah, wise guy, right? Okay, so Ouster, you see a really cool picture of robotics and stuff like that. So now you're sold. You're bullish on this automatically just by seeing a picture, right? Because a picture, after all, a picture paints 1,000 words. But anyway, I just wanted to show you all this because so they've got high resolution lidar sensors or lidar. Perception software solutions are ushering in a new era for safety, efficiency, and sustainability by integrating into existing and future applications. Anyway, long story short, I don't need to give you details, but I am bullish on this one. And this is bonus content, by the way. The topic of the video is pretty much over. I've already squeezed out all the SEOable content. So this is all just banter. And it's all entertainment, of course. None of this is like, real. I mean, this is like entertainment. Even though we are showing like real trades and stuff. Let's see here. Ouster. Let me just look here. I like nerding out on this stuff. So let's see here. Let me see what Google AI tells me here. Ouster has consistently reported, well, it's kind of a growing company, negative free cash flow and negative earnings through both metrics, though both metrics have shown significant improvement in recent reporting periods. That's the important thing. It may be a negative number, but you got to focus on the incremental improvements, right? Like if you're, say, 300 pounds, which some of my haters think I am, but I'm actually not. I'm a very lean 208, actually. Had to think for a second. But say you're 300 pounds, and then you're 290, then you're 280. It may still be a bad number, but it's less bad than it was, right? So it means you're moving in the right direction. So the same thing applies for earnings. So with Ouster, let's see here. Last quarter, free cash flow 2.2 million, which is a substantial improvement from previous quarters and years. Trailing 12-month free cash flow 16 million. Last fiscal year, free cash flow 37.45 million, a significant improvement from, I'm sorry, these are negative numbers, folks. So here's the story, okay? We went from minus 141 million in fiscal year 2023 to minus 37.5 million in fiscal year 2024. Last trailing 12 months, we're now at negative 16 million. So that's a drastic improvement. So this company, folks, there could be like some hidden breakout moments here. You see what I'm saying? You could have some very hidden gains here that this company is actually not on everybody's radar yet, no pun intended. And see, now that I'm talking about the real money making content, I got people leaving the live stream. By the way, if you're still on, smash that like button, 2 thumbs way up. It greatly helps the algorithm. Greatly appreciate that. Okay, so last quarter, 2.2 million. So if this quarter is positive free cash flow, it's going to be huge, absolutely huge. And then the stock has been going up for a while now. Let's see, Ouster DCF analysis, blah, 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 most recent. Yeah, we saw that. I just want to look at the stock for a second here. I used to do Yahoo Finance a lot. I guess I'll do this real quick. He's the smasher. He loves smashing. I mean, smashing is a fun activity, I will admit. It's like it's a very can apply to a very wide palette of activities. Okay, so let's see here. So here's the actual stock. Let's get rid of this ad. Year to date. So here's the thing. See, we're a bit late to the game because watch this. It was at 661 on April 8th. And see the yellow dots here, see the trending up. It's up 160% for the year already, but it still is not on anybody's radar yet, except for ours, right? So it's our little secret between those of us watching and those that catch this on the back end, of course. So, and it's pulled back a little bit because see, Friday it was at like $36, so it's pulled back a little bit. So I think that they're expecting like an earnings miss, I would assume. But I'm telling you, folks, this is going to break out once it's free cash flow positive, which it could very well be. Let's go down here and see the last, watch this, 3-year return, 1 year-to-date return, phenomenal. It's doing very well, 360%. Okay, so it's missed the last 4 quarterly earnings. Hey, welcome. Wow, we got a bunch of other YouTubers on. We got a star in the house. Well, besides Rod, we've got Health and Wealth. Welcome. So what I want to point out here, I don't know what's going on out here. Someone must like Ouster stock. I left my window open today because it's getting cool outside. I want to say Hey, shut up. I'm in the middle of a live stream, bozo. See, he'll listen eventually. Okay, watch this. The trend line straight up, right? So let me try to finish this really quick here. What's the temperature outside? Sorry about this, folks. I know this is very unprofessional of the coach here. It's freezing rain, literally throwing ice balls from the sky. Really, can you all hear the background noise? Because it's like really loud on mine. There's like a pressure washer or something out here. I don't know what they're doing. But anyway, real quick, let me just get through this. So look at this. Earnings. Oh, perfect. You can't hear it, but I can. I love that. It's just like when I see ghosts. I can see them, other people can't. So that's good. Or just like when I see winning numbers. That's good. I'm happy to know that. Who's Gary? Okay, so watch this here. So if you draw a trend line, we're on pace to at least match earnings. If we beat, it's going to be absolutely huge. Anyway, folks, I'll leave you on that note. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Smash that like button, 2 thumbs way up, and we'll see you all on the flip side. Take care. Have a good bye.